I'm going through my Soola bag today and I'm bringing you guys with me. You asked for it. This thing is loaded. I'm going to dive in and I'm going to show you what's in here. Okay, guys, we're going to get to it. Let's go through this Soola bag. First of all, I've heard a few people say that they haven't actually heard of the Soola bag yet. So I guess I'll start by kind of showing her off a little bit and explaining exactly what it is. I first heard about the Soola bags, of course, online, on the internet, and I think maybe Atlas Stationers was originally who I saw talking about it or who I heard talking about it. These bags are fantastic, and they come in a ton of colors. They have I don't know how many pockets they have on them. There's a lot, as you can see. But even to just kind of spin this guy around, you can see that it's a canvas bag, and I mean the pockets on this thing are endless. And I would say that you know, obviously for a journaler or someone who has a ton of stationery stuff, this thing is a dream come true, and it is super deep. I'll get to the bottom of this and be able to show you just how deep it is. And everything that I have in here to try and keep it organized, which, you know, a bag that holds this much stuff can be tough to organize, but with this many pockets, it's just, I don't know. I can't say enough about it. It's fantastic. I am not sponsored by Soola by any means, but I don't know anybody who has one of these bags that has said that it's not great. Because it just really is. So let's dive in. You know, first, right off the bat, I mentioned that it's canvas, and it's, well, I mean, I think that's canvas. It's soft. It's not, you know, stiff at all, but it is very, very durable. The top of this is obviously reinforced with this paneling. I don't know what you want to call it here. I don't know how many pounds it carries. I know that it will tell you on the website. It's got obviously all of the specs, but it holds a ton of weight. It really does. I can't even tell you how much this thing weighs. It's a lot. And then you've got, you know, little pockets here for all of your pens, your markers, whatever it is that you choose to put in here. And then if you spin it around, same thing. These are a little bit wider. You can fit more in here. I have all of my pencils for my sketching that I do in here. I've got my my Micron pens, anything really, heart's desire. And then, you know, you've got some on the sides here too. I've got rulers in here. I'll go through and pull this stuff out so you can see some of my goodies, but that's kind of the outside. And then you can see, sorry, my dog's freaking out, of course, because, you know, I'm filming. You can see that inside here, there are pockets as well. And these are all a little bit bigger, and I've got all kinds of fun stuff hidden in there. Okay, so let's, I'll just, you know what? I think I'm just going to start going through some of my pens and some of the stuff in here so you can see. I'm not going to go through everything. I mean, I feel like a lot of people already know what some of these things are. This is my Uniball, one of my favorites, obviously. These little guys, they're fantastic. I love the way that they write. These are both 0.38. And they're little, they're mini, they're small, so they work really well with my smaller, like everyday carry type journals that go along with me. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with these Pentel Energel pens, but these are the in-free ones. And if you love a juicy pen, holy cow, let me tell you, these are 0.7. I also have the 0.5s. They're awesome, and they come in a ton of colors. And I tell everybody I know, if you're looking for a good pen, man, these are, I love them, and you can find them just about anywhere. They're great, but they're the in-free ones, and they dry super fast. I'm a lefty, and that's a big deal to me, and they dry really fast. This is one of my new favorites. This is a Rytec Morph pen, and they're so cool. These are also really juicy. They're gel pens, and you open it by pulling it out like that. How fun is that? They come in really cool colors, and I love them. I think I was influenced. Actually, I know I was influenced to buy those from another creator online. And then these are a couple of Jelly Roll pens. This one's metallic, and this one is Moonlight. These are by Sakura. Another Energel. And then I've got my Tombow Fudenosuke pens, the hard tip and the soft tip. And I keep those all in here. And I will tell you, so I am a fountain pen lover, as some of you already know, but I do not keep my fountain pens in here. And the reason for that is because I have always been taught that fountain pens should not sit upright. And I have to admit, I mean, I've let them sit upright before, and I haven't had a whole lot of problem with them. But if you have a fountain pen that dries out easily, or even is super wet, if you have a fountain pen that is maybe not the best quality, but you just love how it writes, whatever, I say do everything that you can to keep it in the best shape possible, which is why I keep my fountain pens. I keep them in this roll. It's actually a paintbrush roll. It's kind of cool because then you can, like roll it up, but it's got 2 different layers here, and I'm able to keep them in this, and I can lay it flat rather than having them up or down, and that way there's no ink pooling in the bottom. They're not drying out on me, and I just think it's a good way to store your fountain pens. So that's how I store these, and that's kind of an explanation as to why I don't keep them in these perfectly fitting pen holders in my Soola bag. Okay, let me wrap this up quick. Now, just to go around the side here, so these big pockets right here are full of, these are full of my mild liners, and there's a whole bunch of them in here. I don't know if I can, I'm not going to pull them all out for you, but you can see all of the colors of the rainbow in here. I mean, there's a ton. I have a lot of markers in here, and it holds every one of them. And then in these side pockets, I've got my glue tape. I have my my tweezers for my stickers, and then I've got actual glue, which is great stuff, by the way. I bought this at Semantics Paper Goods in Indianapolis when I went there recently. It's not an easy thing to find this, and I was able to find it there, and I was really excited about it because everybody says it's great, and I got to tell you, it is. It actually works really well. If you can't find this, you can find a Pen and Gear glue stick in a pack of, like, I swear, 20 of them for really inexpensive. And I mean, glue sticks are glue sticks, right, guys? So this works. It works great too. I love it. But I mean, this is fun. And I will say that it works. It works well on things that are a little bit tougher to glue. Like the Instax photos, I use those from my little Instax photo printer, and sometimes those are tough to get to stay in your journals if you're trying to glue them in there, and this works really good on that. So I use this for like my junk journal and stuff too, things that are a little bit trickier to glue. All right, and then on this side, so I mentioned I've got my Micron pens in here, my pencils that I use for sketching. It's a Sharpie marker, but it's white, and I use this for blending sometimes, and other other things that I use when I'm using my pencils. It just kind of, I don't know, I use it for drawing. In here, let's see, what do I have going on in here? I have a ruler with my little stencils in here, and then down yonder. This is for my stamps, and I actually have a ton of stamps that are not currently in here, but they will be in here soon. I do have a couple in one of my, I have a couple in here, but there are many more to be added, and this is, if you're familiar with the rubber stamps, this is what that is for. Super fun to use on like journaling spreads and that kind of thing. Let me see if there's anything else in here. No, these pockets are kind of deep, and I will tell you that that's one thing that can be tough, especially if you have big hands. Mine aren't actually that big, but they're actually fairly small. But getting them all the way down to the bottom, if you have something little in there, it might be tough. So keep that in mind. Oh yeah, and here's more drawing stuff. I keep like some of my blending stumps and that sort of thing in here for drawing. And I don't know if anybody recognizes this, but this is a fountain pen case. I think it came, my Hongdian maybe, I can't remember off the top of my head, came in this. And I just pulled out the little foam piece that comes with it and put some of my drawing stuff in there. So reuse, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. And then, oh, this is a stamp with dates on it that I use to stamp my journals every now and then. Anything else? There are so many pockets in here. I can't even use them all, which is just crazy. Here's just another set of tweezers that probably belongs over here, actually. Another ruler. This is a Hubman Chub Girl ruler with the cute stationery images on it. And then my little scissors, my little mini scissors. I love these things. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people probably have them. They're tiny, but they are so sharp. They'll cut your finger off. And they have this little thing to, you know, kind of protect you and them. And they're fantastic. I love using these to cut, you know, the like extra stuff that goes off the side of my journal and, you know, you name it, washi, whatever. I love these scissors. I think I got them on Amazon. I get everything on Amazon, guys. Don't we all? These are, I am sure I don't have to tell anybody, these are all my Tombos. This is one of the blending ones. It's N00 is the number for that. And it's just clear, but you use that to blend some of those Tombow colors because those are water-based markers and they blend really well. But you can see again, I don't know how many Tombows I own, but there's a lot of them, and they are all here in this pocket right here. This is just one of my clamps that I use to clamp my journals with. And then we're back over here to this side. So now, folks, we get to dig in to everything that is in here. Ugh, and I don't know. All this stuff is really organized. I can't I can't promise that everything in here will be organized, but we're going to get to it. Okay, now to dig into the inside of this thing. All right, where to start? So I guess I'll start with my washi. So the inside of this is stuffed, probably a little less organized, like I said, than the outside of this. But one thing that I keep in here are my washis. And I just want to show you how I organize these things. I don't know, maybe I'm not the first person to think about this. I'm sure I'm not actually. But this is kitchen string. And I just, you can see here, if I don't turn it into a knot, like I'm gonna do, just a second. I'm trying not to like undo this and then have them all go spilling everywhere. Just a sec. Why is it so hard to untie a knot? A regular tie, not a knot. There. So this is just regular kitchen string, and you can see that I just kind of thread all of my washi on here. And I try to thread washi that's all about the same size, and you'll see that I have several of these in here. And then if you tie it, and you just tie it like a regular bow and not a knot, like I had said before, then it's easy enough to untie when you have an empty washi or when you need to add new washi, and it just kind of fits right in here. Washi is just one of the hardest things, in my opinion, to find good storage for that doesn't take up a ton of space, and this works for me. So washi, 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 don't judge, guys, okay? More washi. These are really skinny. I mean, they all serve their purpose, right? And then last but not least, more washi. So that's a lot. I mean, let's just revisit this one more time, because that is only a small portion of what's inside that bag. But look at all this. Goodness gracious. Should I be embarrassed? I'm sure some of you have me beat. But look at it. There's all of my washi, and all of that has fit inside this bag here, like so. So there's my washi, and then I have this guy. This is just a plastic. I think it's actually intended for like coupons, you know, but I keep stickers in here. A lot of my loose, you know, cut stickers, my die cut stickers are in here. I try to keep them semi-organized. And then these are those stamps that I mentioned to you that go on the glass. It's not glass, it's acrylic actually, but that go on that clear acrylic piece. So I have several different kinds of these. These are actual date stamps, and they're super fun to use in my journals. And then I just keep those things inside here, and there you go. Next, I have, tons of, oh, here's more of those, and more. These are fun, kind of like tiles, almost. I love how these look on journal spreads. And I don't know how familiar most of you are with these types of stamps, but I know that it can be really difficult to find ink pads that don't soak through your pages in your journal or your planner. And one great thing to use with these is just your Tombow marker. So when you take these off, they're just little rubber stamps for anybody that's not familiar with them. See, they're rubber, and you just take your marker and color over the top of it like that, and then you put it on that clear acrylic square so that it stays in one place, and then you can just pop it right down on your journal page like so. And these, they make great stamps. They make a great stamp ink, I should say, and they don't bleed through your pages. So hot tip, if anybody doesn't know about that already, that's how I use these. And then I have lots and lots of sticker books in here. And these are not obviously all of my sticker books. I haven't used those yet. I love these, and I haven't touched them yet. I have a couple Hubman Chub Girl clear packs that are just stuffed with all kinds of stickers, and then more stickers. I love these Agenda 52 Paper Studio sticker books that you get at Michael's. I think these are at Michael's. Maybe these are Hobby Lobby, one of the craft stores, but they're fantastic. You get so many stickers in them, tons, and they're, you know, $9. So if you haven't found those yet and you're new to the journaling or planning game, I strongly recommend you checking these out. They're a great deal, and they're almost always on sale. Happy Planner, she's always got great stickers. And then here's more of those Paper Studio stickers, also super fun. I see these a lot when people are planning, so I know a lot of people already know about them, but that's just some of them. I've got the sticker addiction just like everybody else, so you know, there's plenty more where that came from. Here's another pack of stickers. I don't know, how do you guys store your stickers? Do you keep them in like a actual sticker album? Do you have some in albums and some other places? How do you do it? To me, it's just one of those things that are really hard to keep organized and still, like, you know, have all of them in one place and be able to function with them, really, because it just seems like everybody has so many, right? Way more than we need. We can just clarify that right now, right? This is it's just a little plastic box, but I use this for some of the little stuff, like little knick-knacky stuff, like a little clip, or, you know, some of my like paper clips or bookmarks. I've got a couple washi tape shop, like little the freebies that they send. I've got some planner tabs in here, just little stuff that I don't want to fall. This is, you know, an elastic for my travel journal, just little things that I don't want to fall like at the bottom of my bag and then never find them again, right? Okay, let's see here. These are just some wipes, and I have baby wipes in here so that when I am doing my stamping, that I can use just a baby wipe to clean these off. Now, disclaimer that it is not necessarily the best idea to always clean these off with a baby wipe, but it can be done at least, you know, on occasion. And if I'm like traveling with this or carrying this around the house and I'm not close to a sink or whatever where I can actually wash these off, baby wipes are a great alternative. You just want to make sure that they are obviously lint-free is really handy because you don't want lint to get stuck on here, and you want them to be alcohol-free for sure, because if they're not alcohol-free, that alcohol can eventually degrade your stamps. So be cautious with that, but baby wipes do work quite well. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I have some washi tape shop stickers in here. These, boy, there's a bunch of these in here. Hang on. These came in a box set online, and they're very cool. I love how these guys look. Let me see if I can show you what they look like. I wish that I had a link for these, and I don't know that I do, but they're super pretty, and they're all different scenes. Like these are clock towers, but there's one with coffee shops, there's one with like Mediterranean villages, there's one of churches. I can't remember all of them, but they're very fun, and I love using them. I love that they're clear and they're very thin, so they don't take up a lot of space in my journal. One more washi tape shop roll. And then the other thing I have in here, we're almost done, guys. Believe it or not, I'm almost through this. So I have my Zig Clean color dots I keep in here, and I have a full set of those in here. And then a couple of, so my friction erasable pen. And these are erasable highlighters, which are so cool. I just discovered these recently, but they work fantastic. And again, they're the Pilot Friction brand. They work just as well at erasing as the pens do. And like I said, my Zig Clean color dots. Oh, there's another highlighter color. And then the other thing that I have in here that is so fun, I love using these in my planner because it doesn't, you can see everything that's already on the pages. So these are clear Post-its. And then these clear Post-its, because of what they're made of, you know, they're not necessarily paper. So you have to use a permanent marker in order to write on them. They can't be water-based. And Diversa makes this one. I've had some trouble with purchasing these though, and they're being dried out like when I receive them. So the other thing I use just on a pretty regular basis for these is just a basic fine point Sharpie. Is perfect for it. So, but I really love using these because when you put it on your planner, you can still see the writing that's underneath it. But if you need to make notes about something, or if you're not ready to, you know, put it in pen on your planner yet, you just want to make a note of it until plans are set in stone or whatever. That's what I use this for, and I love it. It's very handy for me. And that is it, but I do want to show you one other thing. I have a huge mess over here, but I have to show you my favorite part of the Soola bags, and if you don't have one, you won't know this until you get one, but they're so cool. The inside, can you see? It's got a fun little surprise inside that says, "You do you," and I just think that's fantastic. You do you, guys. I'm doing me, and this is my Soola bag and what it looks like and what it's stuffed with. And I would love to hear about your Soola bag and what yours is stuffed with and how much you love it, or even what you don't love about it. Tell me your thoughts on your Soola bag, or if you don't have one, which one are you going to get and what color? Fill me in. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.